what's an absolutely indispensable, key, clutch piece of gym gear? A television, of course, you got it right. And today, we're gonna be mounting one. All right, let's get started. So first, I'm gonna mount my television above my Titan Fitness mass storage system here in the corner. I'm gonna leave some overhead room in case I want to place and take things off the storage system here. So I'm gonna leave myself 6 to 8 inches here, and you can see that's what I marked with the blue tape. This will be where I'd want the bottom of the television to go. Next step would be to find the studs to mount our television mount to. And to do that, I'm going to use this magnetic stud finder from C.H. Hansen's. This is an Amazon $10 stud finder, and it works absolutely fabulous. All you do is wave it around the wall, and it will locate any of the screws that the sheetrock contractor used to secure the sheetrock to the studs. So where there's a screw or a nail, there's a stud. And the mounting bracket that I picked actually will mount only to one stud. So we have to locate a stud in the middle of this wall, and that's where we're gonna mount the TV to. I originally purchased one that spans 2 studs, and there's 16 inches on center. But what I found in my wall is the location doesn't work. It's not centered on the wall, so make sure you check that before you order a TV mount. So again, to find the stud, all you do is wave it around the wall, and it will stick to the first nail or screw it finds. So right here, almost dead center in the wall is where we have a stud. Now all I'll do is just kind of mark it again with some blue tape, just so I know where it is. And this will give me the approximate location. We'll fine tune that when it's time to drill into the stud to actually secure the mount to the wall. But there you have it. So the mount's gonna sit on this stud, and the goal is to have the TV about this high. Let's unbox the mount and see what we're working with. All right, here's the mount I've chosen to go with. And my TV has the Visa mounts at 600 by 400. So it's hard to find one of those X-shaped bar ones that will work. So I needed to find one that has these 2 wide brackets that could slide out and in. And this mount should do it. You could see that it hangs on one stud, and it has a frame that allows the TV to swivel. So I could pull out my TV and angle it towards the workout space as I'm working out. Instruction manual. Here are the bars that mount to the TV. And here's the mount itself. Now this mount's supposedly rated for 77 pounds. I'm looking at it now, it's pretty light. It's just stamped sheet metal with regular bolts. There's a bolt going through this assembly here. It's a loose end cap. There's a bolt going through this assembly here, and 4 bolts securing this piece of sheet metal to the arm. Okay, so you could visualize how this will look. And then if I want to fold it up, it will just fold in like this. There you go, told you it was magnetic. As I mentioned, I have the 2 bars that actually go on the TV itself, and then these will then hook on to that front plate of the mount. They provide you with some lag bolts and drywall anchors, nuts. And then they give me an assortment of hardware to mount those two bars to the television. And they actually give you a little wrench and an Allen key as well. So fairly complete package here. The model number is MI3991L. Let's bring the TV out, put the bars on, and kind of mock this whole situation up. All right, welcome to the floor. Welcome to the back of my television. This television is a 55-inch plasma, so it's not a light LCD, and it's right at the max operating limit of this mount. As I mentioned, a mount is rated to 77 pounds. I just weighed my TV on my home scale, it's 71.2 pounds. So we're pushing it a little bit, but hopefully the mount works as advertised. So let's proceed with installation. The first thing I want to do is mount these bars to the back of the television. So I'm going to use the included hardware. There's several size bolts here. I'm going to go with the medium size bolt. Then these plates and some of these plastic spacers is what I'll be using. And that's all I should need from this bag of hardware. Okay, so let's mount this bar to the TV. First, we'll take out the plugs that my TV has. Yours may or may not have these. Mine does. They simply unscrew. Next, we want to make sure we orient this correctly with this securing screw at the bottom. This will then lock onto the plate once this is hooked onto the plate of the mount. Next, we kind of want to give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room to move this up and down should we mount the TV and find it a little bit too high or too low. So what I'm going to do is just give myself a little bit of wiggle room and then screw this on. So we have a bolt, we have a washer effectively, and then we have one of these black spacers that goes against the TV. So we'll hang the top side up, and then we'll do the bottom again. Bolt with a washer, and then the spacer on the back side. The purpose of the spacer is to make sure that the bolt does not puncture all the way through the front of your TV. In other words, it controls for the length of the bolt that you pick, because they can't give you every size of the bolt, so instead they give it a cheap plastic spacers to make sure that you're sizing your bolt correctly. So now we could tighten this up. And that's it. The other side works exactly the same. Okay, next let's just mock the TV mount on these bars to see how high the mount is from the bottom of the TV so that we could transpose that measurement onto the wall. Then we'll slide the mount into place. All I need to do is just take my measuring tape and just see about what's the distance to the bottom of the television. Let's say I'm measuring to the bottom hole, and approximately that is 8 inches. So 8 inches from the bottom hole is where the bottom of my television will be. So now we could proceed to the wall to get the exact height of where the bottom hole would be. and that will allow us to plan for the other 2 holes here. So we're gonna have these 2 and the bottom hole to drill into the stud. Okay, we're back at the wall. We're off the floor, thankfully. So here's what I was talking about. The bottom hole of that mount should be about 8 inches from where I want the bottom of the TV. That's where the bottom hole is gonna be drilled. This is our stud. This is about where I want the bottom of the TV. So about here is where the bottom hole should be. Okay, I've slid the tape down on the wall just to make it a little bit easier to carry over my measurements. 8 inches from the bottom, approximately there. So I'll mark a line at the height of the bottom hole. And now what I need to do is actually mark where that will be. So the screw is right there. I got the bubble centered in my stud finder. There's a mark here where I can mark exactly where that screw is. All right. So right at that X will be the bottom hole. Once I drill that bottom hole, I could put my mount up and mark the other holes. But we'll start here at the bottom. Okay, the instructions call for a 3/16 drill bit. That's what we're gonna use for these lags that they've included. So let's drill our first hole and hopefully we hit the stud and we could then mark all the other holes. Doesn't make sense to mark the other holes now because if we miss the stud, then it's a waste of effort, right? So let's drill the first one and hopefully it goes well. You can see I've hung a little dust catcher here out of tape at the bottom. And hopefully that works as well. Don't feel like cleaning up too much here. Okay, my catcher didn't work great, but as you heard, I definitely hit the stud. So that's good news. Okay, now that we got the bottom hole drilled, there's several ways of marking the other holes. You can measure, use a level and mark them, or you could just mark this up on the bottom hole, level this out using your bullet level. And then you could go ahead and I'll just use a screw to mark the 2 remaining holes. Now we have all 3 holes that we need to secure the TV mount to the wall. So let's drill these out. Okay, we'll use the same 3/16 drill bit to drill our remaining holes now. I think I hit a nut on that one, did not want to go in. But the holes are finally drilled. Okay, since we're securing directly to the studs, we don't need any of those drywall anchors. We could just use the lag bolts they provided. And I'll be using this driver with the 10mm socket to get these started. And unlike me, you definitely want to remove the blue tape before you put this on. don't forget this. Keep it warm. I'll also hand tighten this just so I can feel how tight this is. Okay, hand tighten it with a ratchet will allow me to feel how tight these bolts are. Okay, the hard part's done. Now let's hang the TV. Okay, I also forgot these washers on the lag bolts, but I was too embarrassed to show you that on camera. I'm telling you about it anyway, so fair is fair. Okay, next step would be to level out this plate before we hang the TV. I could tell that it's quite a bit out of level, and you can loosen these 4 bolts on the back side to make sure it is level before you hang the TV. Okay, it's pretty good there. Needs a little bit more tweaking, so we'll do that, and then we'll come back and mount the television. All right, now that the mount's all leveled out, next step would be to grab your light 77-pound TV and hang it on here. That's what we've all been working out for, right? Let's do it. It's killing you, isn't it? It's killing me too. TV's on there, it's pretty centered on the mount. Take my word for it, and as you can see, it's holding up. Height is just like we wanted, about 8 inches. Success. All right, all that remains is some fine tuning of the adjustments, side to side, to center in the wall, the tilt, and the level of it, and that's it, you're done. The mount allows for all those adjustments, so it's just a matter of playing with them and securing it. Otherwise, I think we're good. Alright guys, that's how you mount a flat panel TV in your home gym. Again, the most vital piece of equipment there is. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. See you next time.